Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give a big warm welcome to James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd.
It's a pretty awesome turnout. I think it goes all the way back to when I started the Nerd. I didn't really know it was going to be that big of a thing, so I should have known by now. Thank you all for coming. What do you want to hear? What do you want me to do? You got any favorite quotes? Oh yeah. You know what? We got a mic right here. Why don't we just have some people line up at the mic here? That'd make it a little easier. That way I'm not just like pointing at everybody and be like you, and then they're like, whoa, like who are you pointing to? It's like, so yeah, just a little. Yeah, so there's a microphone right here in the aisle. I guess that's the best way to do it.
Everyone runs up.
Right. Hey, so what you got?
Questions or quotes? You want to ask them a question?
Oh, anyone you want. I mean, I like doing quotes. They're fun. I don't mind it. So.
Okay. Is it okay if I give one?
Yeah. All right.
Cool. My question is.
Who? Me or the mic?
Yeah.
Oh, both. Oh, they're working on it right here. Yeah.
Is this better?
Yeah. That's better. All right. So what you got?
Okay. My question to you is, with your, Cinemassacre, Monster Madness, we obviously see that you have a big affection for horror films. My question to you is, which films do you prefer? Is it the kind of golden age, Universal monsters, or is it more of the slashers from like the 80s and stuff?
Oh, wow. Which horror films do I prefer? I prefer the golden age. I'm just really old school with that. There's just something really, something really magical to me about the Universal classics, all the black and white ones. But I like them all. I like all eras of horror. So, did you want to quote or anything? Do you have a favorite nerd moment or anything like that?
Oh, my favorite episode is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But the quote I'm gonna ask for is not from the video game nerd. It's actually from the What's Bullshit.
Sure. By the way, I'm trying to do more of those. I'm gonna bring back the bullshit.
All right. Well, thank you. You've been a big inspiration for me. I studied film at Cal State University, and just love watching your videos. The first person I ever subscribed to on YouTube, and just watch all your videos on your website and everything.
Oh, well, thank you. That never gets old to hear that. I'm really, really happy always. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
I want to say thank you very much. You're one of my inspirations actually going to film school. I want to thank you very much for that. From the bottom of my heart. My question I have for you is, you made movies and you do all the videos and stuff. What is your recommendation as a director, writer, or editor? What are your tips?
Oh, recommendations. It's a hard one. It's kind of like a long-term answer. It's kind of like I think the best way I can give advice is just by my own example. So I eventually want to write a book of just like, let me just put it all down. This is my personal journey of like how, this is how I got to where I am. So maybe this will inspire more people because I like reading stuff like that. I love reading about film directors. The quickest thing I could say about advice is just to hopefully just enjoy what you do first. Like if you don't enjoy what you do, it's not really worth it. So it's a lot of work. And that's why you gotta like what you do first. Don't let too many people steer you in all kinds of different directions. Like only you know what you want to do. So just go for it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing?
Hi. I just thought of this, but have you seen It 2017?
Yes, Stephen King's It, the 2017 version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was interesting they made it the 80s. Everybody's all about the 80s right now, it seems. I've actually, I kind of burned out a little on my 80s nostalgia. I kind of just did it all now, I think. So I've been a little more nostalgic for the 90s lately. But I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means in like 10 years I'm going to be nostalgic for the 2000s. So, I don't know. But yeah, no, it was a really cool... It was a little bit like... Sometimes it was funny, sometimes it was scary. It kind of had like a mixed tones, but I really did enjoy it though.
What are your thoughts on the Venom movie?
Venom?
They're making a Venom movie?
That's the first time I heard about it, so thank you very much. I expected it. I think I knew it was coming, but that's the first. It's like actually happening now?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's coming
Tom
out.
Hardy's Venom?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm a
Thank
big
you.
fan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, thanks for coming here.
Yeah.
I just want to ask, what was your inspiration to start the AVGN? Any influences from like, comedians or like movies, TV shows?
Oh, were there any other personalities that might have influenced AVGN? I don't think, there's none I can think of off the top of my head. I think it was kind of just like an exaggeration of myself. Because like you can invent a character and you can go any way you want with it, but it kind of makes it a little more real. If you kind of stick a little bit to yourself, but just kind of exaggerate it and make it, you know, like closer to truth, you know, makes it more convincing. Yeah. Do you have a favorite episode, a favorite quote or anything? Because I don't remember how, to be honest, like at this point, 150 something episodes, I forget a lot of times now. but I love being reminded though.
It's when you were talking about the Hong Kong 97 episode. I think it's 97.
Yeah, that was Hong Kong 97. That was an episode that just made itself. I didn't need to do anything. It's like, here, just look at it. Like, that's all you need. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. If I remember any quotes from him, I'll do them.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Hi. My question is to you, because of the Mummy 2017 with Tom Cruise. All right. But how do you feel that movie could have been better, other than not existing at all?
How could it have been done better? Well, where do you start? Gee, I mean, I think like one of the things is just make like set some clear rules with what the Mummy does. I did a review of it with Doug Walker, and I remember we talked about it in the video, but it's like the Mummy. I think that like Tom Cruise is like sort of possessed, but then the one guy is dead and he's like back as a zombie. And then she brings these other people like back as zombies, but they're all different types of undead creatures. It was kind of just like I just wished it was more about the Mummy instead of it being about all these like undead, you know, how many different kinds of undead maybe you can, but I don't know, but you know what, sometimes when something's a total train wreck, it just makes it entertaining, so I do find entertainment value in the Mummy. It's just, I think they made some odd choices, but hey, sometimes it's funny, so.
Hopefully the Dark Universe doesn't continue.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it would continue. I wish they'd just find the right way to do it. I think another Monster Squad type of movie would be great.
Yeah,
they just kind of...
Well, I mean, like, you know, continue as how the Mummy was, you know. If it continues, you know, hopefully it gets better. But if it goes down the way, like, how the Mummy went down, you know, just end it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, other than that, hopefully we'll get some good revival of some classic monster movies.
Yeah.
I would really love to see some
Me
new,
too. I'd like them to bring back the monsters in some way. They just have to find the right way to do it. Yeah.
Favorite nerd moment? You freaking out over Polybius. It was a really great episode.
Polybius was one of my favorite ones I've done in a long time because it was like making a horror film.
Yeah.
So that really pleased me to do that because I didn't know when I first started it. I didn't know how it was going to come out. I was like, all right, well, Well, so many people done Polybius, what do I do now? Because I was planning it for the Halloween special, and I remember I was writing it, and I know a lot of people have done it documentary style, like, oh, who's the guy who just did like an hour-long, like amazing documentary about it? Ahoy! Yeah, and I remember I was writing the episode, and then somebody texted me the link, and like he just put that out while I was writing it. And I was like, oh wow, more Polybius. And I was like, wow, the research in this is so good. It's like History Channel. So I'm like, all right, well my video, there's nothing left to research with the game, so I need to really add a lot of fiction. I got to make this like found footage horror. So that was the only thing I think that hadn't been done. And then I was like, well, how's this gonna work? Because if you do found footage, you gotta stick with that. You gotta make it as convincing as you can. And it was actually harder to do that than a regular episode. I thought it was gonna be like, okay, maybe this will be easier because it's supposed to look shitty. The audio isn't supposed to be perfect. The visual isn't supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to look like I just grabbed the camera and just did it, you know? And, but it was like actually harder to make a video look shitty than it was to make one look, you know, really nice. Yeah.
But it worked out in the end. I mean, I really loved it. So yeah, thank you. Oh, and congratulations on your second child.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot.
How's my James?
Hi.
Before I ask my question, my favorite moment is showing pieces of games like this LGN game right here.
Karate Kid.
Yeah. So my question is, will you do another motion picture film like the AVGN?
It's getting a little quiet on the. Yeah. I'm not sure if is it still. Okay, we're a little bit.
Let me ask you.
Sure, yeah, one time.
Will you do another motion picture film like the AVGN movie, like a different genre?
Yeah, well, the question, yeah, if I want to do another feature film, definitely. That's my goal. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how to fit it into my life, because right now my life is so chaotic with the 2 kids and everything. It's, like, really busy just taking care of the family, so I'm trying to think of, like, okay, well, right now there's, like, no time to do it, but I am writing stuff right now, so I'm inching my way closer, but I am writing a horror film. Don't know if it's going to take years or what, but I just want to do a feature-length horror film, and maybe if that doesn't happen, it'll be a short film. But I think eventually you're going to see something. Like the more time I take into these long-term projects, you know, it'll eventually happen. But no, I don't want to do another like AVGN type of movie just because I already did that. So I want to do something different this time. And going back to the Polybius episode, it would be something sort of like in that tone. Like that's already kind of, you know, little, not a teaser, but that's sort of like a little prelude to what kind of thing I might be doing. It'll be a little of that. It'll be a little of like, you know, the board game stuff I did, like the horror turn that took. It's going to be something like that. A little bit of like the older films I did, like Legend of the Blue Hole and Cinemaphobia, if you remember that one. So you'll see like little traces of all different Cinemassacre films in it probably.
All right, thank you. Enjoy your time in SoCal.
Oh, thank you.
Hello.
How you doing?
Are you familiar with the cinema snob Brad Jones?
Oh, I am. I met him. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
I want to know, have you ever seen any of the Ninja Turtles porno spoofs that he reviewed?
No, he was telling me about all that stuff he did. I haven't seen any of that yet, only because I don't have much time to, you know, use the internet for leisure. But that's I don't know. It doesn't sound like something I normally watch, but I mean his review on it, like I mean that'd be interesting for sure.
All right, can I also make a suggestion for you know what's bullshit?
Yeah.
On-demand service on cable. Those are BS.
On-demand service on cable. How so? What's the worst thing about it?
You can't fast forward through the program. Like, you miss like the last 10 minutes of a show, you have to rewatch the whole episode all over again.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Mine doesn't do that. I know you can't fast forward through like commercials and ads, but
yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, I have a whole rant on that.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Hey.
Hello.
What's up?
I just wanted to tell you that when I was a wee little lad and I would rent some Nintendo games from up the street at the little store that they don't really exist anymore. But I would get a game. It might have been good, might have been bad. But when they were bad games, I always had this feeling like, why am I not able to do right? Guy won't jump, like what's going on here? But when I saw your videos, I'm like, there's somebody else out there that was feeling that same pain, and you couldn't even, I couldn't like label it a bad game. What is a bad game? And then I see your video like, hey guys, these are some bad games. I got to show to you.
You're like, so it wasn't just me. It was the game.
The feeling of vindication. That's where I became a fan. My favorite AVGN episode is probably the Nightmare on Elm Street. It was just over the top, really well done. And yeah, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you. I'm always glad to hear that, by the way. It's always nice to know how, you know, the reasons why the show connected and why it appeals to people. So I'm really happy.
How's it going, James?
How you doing?
So you do a lot of videos about horror movies. I was curious what your top 3 scariest movies to you are.
Top 3 scariest movies. I don't really know. I don't really like find too many genuinely scary. But to tell you the truth, I mean, it was actually the American remake of Ju-on, The Grudge, and that one because. I don't know what it was, but they perfected some of the effects in it, some of the visual effects of like the children when they like pop up behind the bed and that like weird noise, and the contortionist girl who like crawling at the end, like that actually really freaked me out, and I was like, that's some creepy shit. So even though it's a PG-13 horror film, I don't think that means anything. I think it can be creepy without having to be rated R.
Awesome. No, that's cool. Yeah, and I love board games, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, board games are one of my favorite things I've ever done, especially that 2015 season and all the dark turn that it took. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
You've made it very apparent that you're a metalhead through your channel, and I was wondering.
Aiden.
Yeah. What's your favorite doom metal band?
Doom metal band. I'm not really sure of the labels. I don't really know like what all the labels are. But which bands would you call doom metal?
Candlemass. I think technically you could consider something like Black Sabbath doom metal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thought I have is Sabbath. Is that too easy? It's just like, you know, 'cause they like started the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they'd have to be. But you know, like other bands that have had similar sounds, like The Sword. The Sword is a really good band with those like really heavy riffs.
Yeah.
You know, I love that stuff.
And the second question I had was, do you plan on continuing board games anytime soon, or is that still on hiatus?
Oh, continuing board games. Like, if I was gonna continue it, I'd have to top it. I'd have to make it even better. And every time I made another one, it just got like more and more insane. I'm like, I don't know how to top that. I mean, I know how, but I can't because it would take it. Like, there's no time for it. Because that was like kind of like a 6 month of just like half the year just about working on that season of board games. So as much as I'd love to bring it back, I'm also really happy with how it ended, how it wrapped up, and I kind of just want to leave it at that. I have thought about doing like a prequel kind of board games, like Board Games 0, and this would sort of be more about what he's like before he becomes Board James. But really, I'd honestly rather put that effort into making just a straight up original horror film.
And the last thing I wanted to say was that my favorite moment on your channel is from Board Games, the whole thing where Mike gets revived as Elvis and he has the whole honka honka fuck. Like one time I just got so into that line that I didn't notice myself saying it when I was doing the laundry. My sister overheard me and she just like had the most what the fuck reaction that anybody could have. Well, that's about it. Thank you for coming by.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, good.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, are you gonna be swinging by the Twin Pines Mall anytime soon?
Swinging by where?
Twin Pines Mall.
Twin Pines Mall. I did it already.
Yeah, well, are you gonna go revisit?
I don't know, maybe some other time if I get a chance, but I actually went to some new locations this time. I had to, yesterday I was actually at, some of the Planet of the Apes locations. I went to the beach where the finale is, where you see the Statue of Liberty. Sorry if I spoiled it just now, fuck. But
I didn't finish watching it yet.
I found some of the parks in Malibu Creek State Park. Like there's like some remains, like the steps where Charlton Heston runs up. So there's like a little bit of structure left there, where they have the whole like human cage. It's like up on like a plateau. Yeah, so I mean, every once in a while, whenever I come to the West Coast, I usually visit a spot or two. So yeah.
Favorite line? What were they thinking?
What were they thinking?
Hey. What's up, James? How you doing?
Hey, good.
Awesome. I just had a quick twofer question real quick. Huge Monster Madness fan. Matter of fact, I need to thank you. I went to college because of those videos, especially the first season. So the first question I have is, which is your favorite season of Monster Madness you did?
Oh, favorite season of Monster Madness?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I think the most thorough was the 2013 sequel-a-thon, because that one, it was sequel-a-thon 2.
Yeah.
And I remember that one I went pretty in depth with the movies. Like sometimes I forget that this is something that comes out every day, so I have to keep them short. And that time I just went insane and was just like, some of those videos were like over 10 minutes long for like a one-day video.
Yeah, those aliens ones got intense. Like you went real deep in those alien ones. Like,
yeah, the alien stuff. Yeah, the Romero Dead series. Yeah, that's probably my favorite season, just because it went so far. And that one had the Gamera series too, didn't it?
Yes, it did, and you went crazy in Gamera. That was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
My other question I just had real quick, a while back on one of the Monster Madnesses, the giant claw, you said that was the one prop you wanted, like which you could just have that monster prop. I was curious if that's still your answer, or is there another monster movie prop that you'd rather have?
Yeah, I think it's still the giant claw, because it's a curiosity thing, really. It just does. Like after that movie was done, did they just throw that thing in the trash?
Right.
Well, actually, no. You know, Joe Dante said he saw it in like the Warner Brothers prop house somewhere in like the 80s, and so if it actually existed until the 80s, then maybe it could be anywhere. And like, what would it look like now? Like, what state of you know, like?
Is it still as big as what was it? Big as what did they say?
Oh, big as a battleship.
Big as a battleship. Yeah, is it so big as a battleship?
Yeah, that phrase really catches on in that movie. It's really.
I quote it all the time.
Yeah,
I do that like it's big as a battleship. That's why it like lost my mind. But
yeah.
But
cool.
One more quick thing. Can I just give you my own Cinemassacre Monster Madness line real quick?
Sure.
All right. It's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness.
Nice, thank you. What's up?
Hello, James.
Hey.
Longtime fan. You know, your videos mean a lot to me because they got me through a lot of really hard times. So, but I have two questions.
Glad to hear it. Glad it helped you out.
Thanks. I have two questions. One, are you aware that there is an independent wrestler in Oakland who uses an angry video gamer gimmick? He calls himself the pissed off nerdy gamer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wrestles for a promotion called Hood Slam, wears the whole getup with the
power. So he's a nerdy wrestler.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, most wrestlers today are nerds. I don't know if you are aware of one named Xavier Woods in the WWE. He does a Let's Play channel, so it's crossing together now.
Wow.
My other question is, after you did your video on Power Rangers and your video on Inframan, have you ever considered maybe checking out other tokusatsu like Sentai or Kamen Rider?
Yeah, I think the next one that's really overdue for me, I gotta watch all the Ultraman series. I've seen all of Ultra Q, which is like, it's like the Twilight Zone. That's really cool, like the anthology stuff. But that was before Ultraman. So next up is Ultraman, and then I might get into Ultra 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite AVGN episode is Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know, just the line "nunchuck fuck" still makes me laugh.
Oh, that was the Ninjas line.
Yeah.
Nunchuck fuck!
Thank you. Enjoy your time in SoCal.
Oh, thank you. Hey.
All right, how's it going? My favorite episode of Angry Video Game Nerd would be the one where you play every single Mega Man game and you just went traveling back and all your old videos.
Yeah.
And
that's one of my favorites too.
My question is, how did you make clones?
Oh, how did I make clones? I mean, basically, it was all green screened, or sometimes it was actually like if it depends on the background. If there's actually something real behind me, if I'm standing next to like the real wall, I'll just film it once, talking this way, then I'll film it once, standing over here, and we just split the middle. But the problem is a lot of times, even if I think I know what I'm looking at, like I'll find a spot to look here, and then I'll come over here and I'll find like a similar spot, same height, everything. Then I'll put the two together, and then it's like I'm not looking anywhere near. You know, like it's kind of like I'm looking at my nose or something, or looking off. It doesn't work, and I'm like, shit. So I got to do it over and over and over again. And a lot of times it's green screen. Like if the background is something I'm putting in later, like I'm putting in like the 2007 Nerd Room or something like that, then I have a little more wiggle room, because then with the green screen, if I'm not looking in the right spot, I can kind of slide one character over a little bit, kind of adjust it, you know? But you know, it took several attempts to get it all right. Plus I'm using the old glasses and the new glasses, and they're all my real prescription glasses, so my eyesight has gotten way worse since then. So when you're switching, you know, glasses, and you're switching two prescriptions going back and forth, so it was really messing with my eyes doing all that. It was yeah, doing clones is especially when there's 5 in a scene, is ridiculous. It's tough.
And one more question. Since I found you were like a really big horror fan, recently I've been practicing a Pennywise impression. I was asking if you want to hear it.
You're practicing a what impression?
A Pennywise impression.
Oh, go for it, sure.
This one is the Tim Curry one.
Okay.
Hiya, Georgie.
Nice.
All right, that's it.
Oh, thank you. Hey.
Hello. The first episode of your show I ever watched was the... Oh, God.
Oh, was it me or you?
I don't know.
Yeah,
was the Ghostbusters episode. It was actually introduced to me from a few friends who are actually with me here today. And ever since that episode, I've actually been a huge fan. But I think my favorite thing you ever did, and it's such a silly little thing that I don't think anyone has... I don't know how many people have actually seen it, but I loved it, was this trailer for something called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the game, the movie.
Yes.
I loved that. It was just... I've watched it probably 100 times, because every time I see it, all the little lines and just the getting sucked back into the explosion.
I'm glad you're bringing up all my favorites. Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde, the movie, the game, the movie, the trailer was that was one of my favorite things too, because I don't know, it was just like who would ever do that? That's the reason to do it. Sometimes it's like, what would nobody else ever want to do?
The other thing I got is I love Monster Madness. I like the fact you tap into a lot of weird old horror movies, some of which I'm familiar with, many of which I'm not. Including you actually introducing me, I guess for lack of a better word, to the fact that there's horror. Hammer Frankenstein movies. I had no idea, and I'm kind of on the hunt for those. But the one thing is, I always remember these random clips from different movies from like when I was younger. You know, sometimes you come in halfway through a movie when it's on a TV or whatever, and you don't know what the hell it's called. And I was wondering if you had any good resources you use to try to remember some of those older movies that you may have seen back in the 80s or the early 90s.
Like what do I use to remember a lot of those things? Or?
Yeah. Or is my memory just terrible?
Yeah, I'm not sure really. I think like certain things I've either written down, or I just memory kind of filters out the unimportant stuff, and you just remember like what, I don't know, it highlights certain things about it. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, I guess lastly, since no one else has requested the game, I don't know if I'm the only person who ever played this game, or maybe I'm the only person who still hates it to this day. Solar Jetman.
Solar Jetman. Yep. That's been I wouldn't say it's been on the list, but it's been on my radar. So it's always been a possible episode, but not very likely because I'm always looking for something that really gets me mad, or something that really I don't know. I'm just always looking for what games have the most material. But I might be revisiting Solar Jetman sometime and see if it might work.
I mean, I'd be fine enough with the James and Mike Monday as well.
We could do it as a James and Mike Monday. All right. Well, many more Mondays, many more games.
Thank you. And it's
Thank
great to
you.
see you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
Awesome, awesome. I have one major question.
Sure.
And that's for Hong Kong 97.
Yeah.
Do you have any more information on that, or just
since the episode?
Yeah.
Since the episode, I found a cartridge on eBay. Now, I don't know 100% if it's real, because I know that the game was supposedly on the disc system, but they may have released a cartridge also. Has a label. It starts up. It plays. Everything about it seems legit, but you never know. Like, somebody could have just made a fake one. So I'm not sure. I asked Pat, the NES punk, about that too. He checked it out, and he's not really sure either. But he says it very well could be real, but yeah, don't know.
Speaking of Pat, one of my favorite episodes, of course, is the Nintendo World Championships. With Pat.
Yeah, the Nintendo World Championships episode was great. I like that. It was just a good opportunity to have both of those cartridges in an episode, because there wasn't really a lot of video of those cartridges, because they're so rare, you know? So it was a cool privilege to not only have the gray one, but the gold one too, in that video.
Definitely, and I would like to say it's a privilege to be talking to you right now. It really is. Thank you for being here. And
thank you.
With my quote, I have two quotes. I
Sure.
have the one from the Rocky PS2, which is the Clubber Fuck.
Oh yeah.
That's how I like. That's one of my favorites. And then the other one would be from the Nintendo World Championships is Legend of My Ass.
Legend of My Ass.
There it is. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey.
Hey James, how you doing?
Oh, good.
My name's Carlos. I just wanted to come out here today and tell you, because when I heard that you were coming, I got excited. But when I first saw your videos and all your work in high school, it inspired me to make my own films. And just right after I saw your videos and everything, it got me started. And I just started doing my own thing. I got my friends to get along, and we started making our own videos. And now I'm a fourth year in college, and I have two jobs that require camera work and everything. I just want to say thank you for inspiring me with filmmaking and everything.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you. And then just I guess one question. Of all the movies that you've seen, what's probably your favorite movie car?
Favorite movie, what?
Like a favorite movie car, like Back to the Future DeLorean, Dukes of Hazzards.
Favorite movie car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Favorite movie car. I really like the '89 Batmobile. I really love that design.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I guess another suggestion too with that's bullshit. The thing I cannot stand is no U-turns at intersections. Can't stand that.
No U-turns at intersections.
Yes, I mean, doesn't that suck?
It could be many based on traffic. Like, there could be ones about jug handles and
True.
some parking lots where, like, you get in and then you can't find your way back out. And it's just like parking lots that are designed like mazes. You know?
I just want to say thank you again for inspiring me, and I love all your work, and I hope you just keep seeing you do it all and everything. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Hey James, let's go back to 2014 when you finally released Angry Video Game Nerd movie. I was actually at the New York showing because I was living in New York at the time.
Oh wow!
So how did it feel after putting so much work, so many years, such an arduous process to get the movie out? How did it feel being in that room with everyone I remember just the roaring laughter and the excitement. how did you feel in that room as everyone was watching the movie? You and Kevin slaved, and a lot of other people for many years.
Oh, it was amazing. It was like, okay, well, first of all, just being relieved that it was finally done, that we finally finished it and were able to show it. But then also, at that point, I thought I was going to be sick of looking at it, because you're editing and you're staring at it for so long. Then once it actually got up on a big screen and you had all these people like laughing and everybody's having a great time, then it was so entertaining. And I was like, wow, I can't believe that this is like really working now. And like, I was feeling it. Like, I was actually like engrossed in the story of my own film. And I was like, and then at the end of it, I realized like, yeah, you know why I like that movie so much? Because I made it exactly how I wanted it to be. So that's all you can do, yeah.
Yeah, whenever I watch that movie again, I just remember that screening. But I guess my favorite quotes probably be the funniest one. I think is the Ranger when you were singing the song. The Ranger song for Power Rangers.
Oh, Juranja! That one?
That one. But I think I swear, the best conversation breaker is just, you know what's bullshit? Everyone will jump on that.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
All right, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
I was wondering, what is the dragon in your pocket in the Karate Kid episode?
I'm sorry, one more time?
You have like a stuffed animal dragon in your pocket in the Karate Kid?
Yes. Yeah, in the Karate Kid episode, right? Was that the one? Yeah, wow, that's crazy. I knew what you meant. I thought you meant right now. I'm like, I don't think I have a stuffed animal right. Yeah, it was from Loch Ness, actually. It was in Scotland. There was from one of the gift shops. It was a little Nessie plushie, you know. Yeah, I don't. Why I put it in there, I don't know. That I can't answer. But I think I just did stuff like that, like in I don't know. I had something with bears. For some reason, I like putting bears like in the corner, just like a little stuffed teddy bear, just so like somebody would notice and be like, why the hell is that there?
And also, you're an inspiration to me.
Oh, thanks.
And my favorite episode is Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was the first, Friday the 13th, the first one where we had like a character, well, besides Shitpickle. Shitpickle. Yeah, Friday the 13th, that was really one where I stepped it up a bit. I was like, all right, well, let me add a little something more to this. Yeah.
And my favorite quote is, "Who made this murky mess of monkey jerky? Some turkey jackass."
That's one of my favorites too. What turkeys worked on this murky mess of monkey jerky? Some quirky jackass in Albuquerque? I mean, just, whenever you do something all in rhyme, you know, you can't go wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Hello. First off, I want to say welcome back to California. I was at the San Diego screening of the movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we briefly talked a little bit, so it's good to see you again. Cool. Your list of movies about making movies was a big inspiration to me. Living in Oblivion is one of my favorite movies now.
Yeah.
And I know you're a fan of The Disaster Artist, and I'm actually going to a screening of The Room right after this.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, and I just want to know, have you met Tommy Wiseau, and what do you think about The Room in general?
I've not met Tommy Wiseau, but I haven't been to one of the Room screens, but I should sometime. It sounds like a lot of fun. Well, what's my feeling on the movie itself? I mean, it's a really interesting movie. Just like the choices he made with it are just so unique. Like there's no other movie like it. It's not. I don't think it could ever be my favorite bad movie because I tend to like bad movies that are genres, like a horror, movie that's bad. This is kind of like I don't know what it's trying to be, like a drama, I guess. But I mean, there's just like moments in it that are so funny. Like my favorite, I think, in the whole movie is when he pats the dog on the head. He goes to the store and he's like, he's got so much business. Like he's just talking and he's like, oh hi doggy, and it just carries on with business.
Cool. And I'm actually a school teacher by day. And my favorite AVGN quote, I don't actually say it the exact full thing to my kids, it's just like, when I want to say something is plain or normal, I kind of go off of I riff off of your football speech. where it's unadulterated, unabashed. Do you know the entire thing?
I do know that one.
But don't say the fucking football. That part doesn't apply in the classroom.
Yeah, just plain or on Atari, as the Atari football. And it's not Madden or anything, it's just plain ass fucking football. And then I slam it into the garbage and then like causes like an earthquake.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Hello. How are you doing?
Oh, good.
So I was actually going to ask about the Angry Video Game Nerd movie because I did see it in 2014. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, did you? Which screen?
I lived in Chicago at the time, and Doug Walker was there, so I saw it there. Yeah, but I moved in California since then in 2016 to pursue a video game industry job. So.
Oh, nice.
So
good luck.
Thank you. So my question to you is, how can you reach an audience and satisfy them with content creation in general?
Oh yeah, I don't know how to reach a wide audience. I'm not sure really. I think just keep trying different things.
Do what you enjoy and make the best of it.
Yeah, and try to like, I don't know, do something that you think hasn't been done, or like something that's like, you know, there's a following for it that hasn't, you know, found it yet because it's not there. So like kind of just, I don't know, find like a new niche, but just keep trying different stuff and like, you know, something will happen eventually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favorite episodes is probably the Nintendo Power episode because I just felt it was really different from most of them, and I collected a lot of the issues. It just fun to see what your favorite moments in the magazine were.
Favorite moments in Nintendo Power magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What were some that stick out from the episode?
I mean, there's that one where we couldn't even see the page because it was so gross.
Oh yeah, it was just another toenail ad, but it was like, why'd they have ads with toenails in it? You know what I found recently, again, was the, I don't know if I mentioned it in that one, was the Earthbound stickers.
Oh yeah.
Or no, they weren't stickers, they were the scratch and sniff things. But it smelled, and like, they've called it the issue that, or the ad that stunk up Nintendo Power. And so that one's very memorable because I knew nothing of that game when it came out. Like nobody really talked about it back then.
Yeah.
But I do remember those smelly like scratch-off stickers. A lot of people say they blame that on why the game like tanked back then. I don't think that's really the reason. I think they just didn't really promote it enough, maybe. But because back then in the '90s, gross-out humor was pretty common. You had Beavis and Butthead and Ren Stimpy, and like games like Booger Man, you know. I don't know, the '90s was about a lot of gross stuff, so I don't see that as being the reason. I don't know.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Hi, James.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. So, favorite music moment from the show? Ikari Warriors. And, where did their hair go?
Oh, where did their hair go?
And favorite episode, actually, Ricky won.
Ricky won.
Ricky won review.
Wow. Is that one still up?
It's still up.
Is it? Okay, cool.
I know because we watched it the other night.
Wow, okay. Yeah, Ricky One was terrible, that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those rare times where the nerd reviewed a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a weird spoof of Rocky.
Rocky as a gigolo and a horse head, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, my question was about kind of the progression of AVGN over the years that I've watched, you know, for I don't know how many years now, and kind of watching the style of the episodes progress, where, you know, early on it was kind of dark, you in a room doing your thing, and then now with the videos being in high definition. And I actually remembered, even like on the capture side, I was curious. I saw you used to use like a DVD recorder with composite inputs to get your game capture, and then you know, now I've seen a FrameMeister hidden in some of the recent videos. And what I was curious was how the process has kind of evolved for you, because what I was wondering is, has the technology kind of driven you as it's come along with camera technology and stuff to move into high definition, do higher quality capture, or was it kind of the other way around? You just naturally wanted to reach for those things and found what was out there?
Yeah, oddly not much. The process has been very much similar since day one. I mean, it depends on the episode. Some episodes are made different than others, depending on what they are. But yeah, it's still pretty much like the same type of technology. We've upgraded to, HD and like, I'm always slow to update with things too. Like, I don't see any reason to do them in 4K yet.
Right.
Because it's like, all right, well, I don't know. We're looking at old game footage most of the time. And for the one moments when you see the nerd, it's like, oh, did you really need to see like the bags under my eyes and like how tired I am? Like, did you see like, just my skin all like flaking up, like as I'm all dried up and everything? Yeah.
Or your eyes all red when you've been switching.
Yeah, my eyes get red. I'm like looking into the lights, Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I'm always kind of hesitant to like, all right, well, what's the point? 4K is going to be so much more file size,
right?
And a lot of it, what's going to make it's a lot of wasted, data storage because I record the voiceovers on camera now because it makes it quicker for me to edit if because I used to record the voiceovers separate and then I'd have to like add them in, like, okay, this is the spot where the voiceover goes, here it goes, here it goes. This is on screen, this is like, so I go to the footage, I go to the audio. If I do it all on camera, I have it all in order, so then it makes editing a lot quicker, because then all I'm doing is I'm just racing through and just cutting out everything you don't need, just I-O, cut, I-O, cut, I-O, cut, you say your in and out marks, and then, so I'm cutting everything down and just getting it to the nerd. So a lot of the footage is actually just me with like a laptop or a piece of paper in front of my hand. I'm just, reading it. And when I see that, it's like, all right, yep, that's all voiceover. So I just delete that stuff and then, or like overwrite it with the game footage. So it's like, okay, that's game footage, bloop, 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 and it goes a lot quicker. So it's you look for any little thing you can do to help cut out time.
Yeah. For sure, thanks. And thanks for all the laughs, appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
Excuse me, sorry.
Hi.
Hello. My favorite video of yours is Dragon in My Dream.
Oh, thank you.
Very heartfelt and very inspirational. My question is, like, have you found any other memories or dreams that's very sacred to you that have played a significant part in your videos?
Oh, wow. Have I found anything similar to the Dragon in My Dream? Something that had, sentimental value that I've revisited again after all these years. Nothing to that magnitude. I think that was like the biggest thing. But yeah, there's always, something that might be like an old playground you went to, or, so I feel like, mostly with media, I've mostly pretty much revisited it all again. Like, I've played all these old games again, I watched all these movies again, like shows you watched as a kid. Everything that exists, at least. I mean, there's some shows that might, you can't find, but yeah.
Were you able to find the dragon again in real life, or you haven't had time to see it again?
Oh, say again?
Have you found the dragon again? You found a new place for the dragon, or no?
Oh, you mean like the fate of the dragon?
Yeah, no, the statue of the dragon.
Yeah, well, the statue, last I saw, and I wasn't there in person, people sent me pictures that it's been moved to the sidewalk. And it's shorter. They still haven't painted it, it looks like. But it's there. It's just like, it's a lot shorter. It's probably about like this short now. And it's on the sidewalk. And in the spot where it was originally is now, there's a new dragon. And it's different. It's a totally different type of dragon. And I don't know, maybe sometime I've always thought about taking my daughter over there and, she can have the new dragon, so it makes sense.
Thank you. My favorite episode was the Paperboy, and the real question is like, was you able to actually break that window, or just like a prop thing that actually just happened to occur?
Oh, which thing in the Paperboy?
When you throw the papers to the window and it actually breaks. Was that actually genuine, or was that?
Oh, it was an accident. It actually, because the whole thing was, I'm like, oh, look, you can't break a window with a newspaper, and so I'm throwing it as hard as I can just to prove that you can't break a window, and it breaks. So then I'm like, wow, what did I say? I was just like who would have thought that would have happened,
Awesome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Alright, I'm a big Godzilla fan, and my favorite episode has to be the Cinemassacre Monster Madness episode where you review all the Godzilla movies.
Oh yeah.
And I know that you reviewed the 2014 movie, like you did a review where you said that you actually enjoyed it, but then you gave your second opinion and thought that the Emmerich movie was more entertaining. And I want to know, like, what your thoughts are on the sequel for the 2014 movie now that it's going to have kaiju such as Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah.
I'm really excited to see more of Godzilla. I hope that they just learned from any things that went wrong with the 2014 version, which wasn't a bad movie, but it was far from perfect. And I think that the teases with always cutting away from the monsters that sucked. So hopefully they rectify it this time. And with all those monsters on screen, I don't see how are you going to cut around Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra? I think this one's going to be a lot better. I'm expecting the best. And also Skull Island definitely helped rejuvenate that. I think Skull Island was a lot more fun than the Godzilla movie they did. So that kind of helped get more interest for me. So I think it'll be good. And also after that one, it'll be Godzilla versus Kong. And that one is long overdue to see those two monsters together again for the first time since like 61 or 62.
Alright, so my favorite quotes, two quotes, is from your Bram Stoker's Dracula game review for AVGN is Fred Futz.
Yeah.
And my other favorite quote is Destroya!
Destroya! Fred Futz!
Hey James, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm going to do mine in reverse, because that's the only way it'll make sense.
Reverse?
So my favorite video, it's not an episode, but whenever you refuse to review Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite. It helped me respect you, because despite the outrage, you held your ground, so made me respect you more. So my question is, that.
Totally misinterpreted, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I misinterpreted?
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
You didn't misinterpret.
Oh, well, okay. So the question is, from that, did you experience any demonetizations with your YouTube? Because of what's happening, with everything involving the channel.
Demonetizations on YouTube, it can happen on specific videos for sure. It's only a lot of times if you do stuff with Nintendo, it's a good chance it'll be demonetized. Certain random things, all our Power Rangers videos were demonetized. Even though all we did in the James and Mike Monday one, it was an audio claim for me and Mike singing the Power Rangers theme badly, so that triggered a song match. So, but I mean they were manual claims. But yeah, no, it's a case by case thing. It just depends on the video.
Did you ever see it? The Ghostbusters 2016?
No.
You never saw it?
Oh, wait, no, Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah.
I eventually did see it on demand a lot later, but it's what everybody says mostly. It's just like an okay movie. It's just it wasn't worth all the fuss over it. It was a little bit better than the trailer, which is what I speculated. I said, who knows, maybe it's good. It wasn't good, but it was okay. And the only problem with it was that it was disconnected from the other movies. Why have the other Ghostbusters do cameos if they're not the real people? And I mean, I love the quote from Andre, who's here, is that he said, if Girl Meets World could be set in the same universe as Boy Meets World, why can't Ghostbusters be set in the same universe as Ghostbusters? And the new cast was great. I had no complaint about the cast. I just wanted the old cast to be there to pass the torch because they had that opportunity. But they wanted to wipe the slate clean and start new and call it Ghostbusters and make it a reboot, So, yeah. But you know what? I don't have to explain to you.
Okay, one more thing. Did you feel vindicated when it lost all that money and you said that it was going to be bad and everybody?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, what I want I see, because what I notice all the time is when there's a movie that comes out and everybody, like they already know they're going to hate it, it's like, why go see it to complain about it? So my whole stance, what I was saying in the first place was, if you don't think you're going to like it that much, like, you know, don't see it just to hate it, like just don't see it then. So hopefully that just means that the people who went to see it are people who liked it, and the people who already didn't like it didn't go see it. And maybe there's a lot of people who didn't like it for the wrong reasons, and you know, that'd be a shame, but I'm sure that's out there. But no, not me. I'm just giving opinions about movies like I usually do.
Alright, well, thanks for that, and I guess other than that, my favorite episode was probably about Bible Adventures.
Bible Adventures?
Yeah. You did that one, right?
Yeah. Is there a quote that you like?
Was it Buffalo Butt?
Buffalo butt fuck? Well, it sounds like me. So.
Diarrhea dump in his ear.
Yeah. That was that was
the alliteration.
That one I was just losing my mind. I was going like sheepy. Like I started doing stuff like that. Like
All right, thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We also, so you know, there's a time right here. We have only like a minute left now, so mostly everybody in the line. I think I might be able to get two more real quick. So
I'll try to be quick.
So sorry about that. Just we're out of time.
Understood. First of all, again, just like probably a lot of people in the room, inspired me to get into retro gaming in general. Before I saw your channel, I had maybe 20 or so games in my collection. Now I have over 600, and a lot of it is a tribute to you. So thank you for that. My real question is, what are your thoughts on, just real quick, your thoughts on Nintendo kind of dipping its toes back into Hollywood again with there's a Mario animated movie. It's been kind of in the works. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Say again with the Mario one?
What are your thoughts? They want to make Illumination Entertainment is apparently going to be making an animated Mario movie. Like Nintendo's dipping its toes back into Hollywood again after 25 years.
I got you now.
So I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
I think it's another thing that's long overdue to see Nintendo actually step into movies again, because you know I really believe there's a lot more quality control since Super Mario Brothers the movie, which is still a really interesting movie. It's in a cult way. It's totally unique, but I think now they know how to make something more faithful to the games. I don't think they're going to repeat the same type of things. So I don't see why, I don't know, like all the hesitation about it, if that was any factor in it.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, so I really think that they'll probably do a good job, you know.
Especially since I hear Miyamoto is going to be involved in it on some kind of a producerial level of some sort.
Oh, thanks. Just because I promised the one guy behind you wanted to say there's two. I'll just get him real quick, but thank you so much. Yeah. So we'll make this the last one. And oh, by the way, my apologies that it's going to be that there's more people than there exists time for autographs. I know there's a lot of people who want autographs. So when I'm at the signing, I'm definitely going to be trying to get through as quick as I can. Because there's only an hour to sign today, but tomorrow I'll be back and I'll have like an hour and a half. I do got to end tomorrow at 12 because I got to get to the airport, but I'm going to try my hardest to sign as many autographs as I can. So thanks everybody for understanding. I hope that you can get them, but it's hard. So one last question, yeah.
Okay. Hey, how's it going? I love your work. I've been a fan for years. One thing we, as a community, I've loved about your videos is it always comes from a genuine place. You never try to hurry up and just push a video out just because. And I appreciate your work and all that. So one of my favorite videos is the Ninja Gaiden episode.
Yeah.
And so, what with you've done some in the past where you've come back after years of failure to come back and finally complete some of that stuff. Another one of my favorite videos is your beating the turbo tunnel.
Yeah.
And that kind of joy and thrill that we all share as a community. It's just great seeing you do that sort of stuff. So hopefully, you might be able to do another Ninja Gaiden episode. I think it's a little overdue. Maybe bring back the ninja.
Chances are you're a gamer, you like a challenge. That's what it's all about sometimes, yeah. Cool, well thanks everybody.